Guys, thanks for tuning into our podcast. If you do enjoy this, please make sure you share it with a mate. It's not that much that we're asking. We really appreciate it. But yeah, just keep listening and hope you enjoy the banter that we've been having.
Do you not know who she is, Cotty?
No, I do now. I do now.
I'll have to get you back on when we do get Metamucil as a sponsor eventually.
This thing called the reverse goat piss. Basically the same thing. Tuck your dick, piss in the trough backwards.
Was he blind before the Big Bad show come out?
Lang Park, mate, Queensland.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back to On the Piss. I fucked it. Righto, guys, welcome back to another edition of On the Piss with Klutz and Das. And today we've got our good mate, Seb Kirkpatrick.
Gentlemen, how are we?
Big Bad Bas. Fuck, we just launched into that so quickly. We've never started the podcast that quickly.
I'm feeling red fucking hot today.
You guys are
I'm
professionals now, eh?
Yeah, I'm getting used to it. Yeah, I think this is number 19, episode 19 of
Joe
the
Rogan
podcast.
number.
Yeah. Yeah, Spotify's actually hit us up during the week to
Yeah.
sell, but nothing in it for us. So
Fun fact about the number 19, it's the day of my birth.
Is it the day of your birth?
Yeah,
what a
it
holy
is.
day for everyone.
It is. Speaking of which, happy birthday for the other day, actually.
Oh, thanks, boys.
Yeah.
Thanks for surprising me, Klutzy. I got a blind Klutzy rocking up at my door. Birthday present.
Fuck, we came in red hot, man. I haven't been that excited, one, to see you, and two, because of that game of football the other night.
yeah, that was a fuck game of footy.
That was crazy.
Like, I've just been on the biggest high.
Talking about the Storm game.
Yeah, the Storm game.
No, the Reds.
Yeah, sorry.
And the Reds. Yeah. Like, I'm just on the biggest high this weekend. We are recording this on a Saturday, so I'm just so amped.
Yeah, for sure. The Reds was crazy last night. There was about 10,000 fans there.
Yeah,
Bumper
huge.
crowd. Yeah,
It's
it was
awesome.
huge. It was an improvement, eh? COVID's done wonders for the
Yeah,
Reds.
for the
so
Reds.
far.
And they won too, so.
I don't know, more COVID, please.
Seb, how does it feel to finally turn 14?
Turning 14. Bittersweet. Yeah, look, 14, no one likes you when you're 14, eh?
That's it, yeah. It's a tough time.
Yeah, just waiting on my fakie to come through, but
Yeah.
when it comes through, I'm going to be drinking
Peter
with you boys
Wallace.
at the pub.
You!
What's it like at the
Yeah.
pub?
Well, actually, we should say we're coming live again from the
Come live
Caxton.
again for the Caxton.
Oh, yeah, where are we, Frankie?
We're up in the pool room at the Caxton. I'm loving it.
How's the Atmos?
Yeah, sour.
We've actually got, one of them's in the room at the moment, but there's a few people up here having a few beers, so we've got a bit of a live audience this afternoon, which will be interesting.
Yeah,
Should be
shout out to Dano.
The cream of Brisbane's crop, eh?
Yeah, 100%.
Actually, people are coming out of the woodworks for this one as well. Like, fuck, making the trek from Sanford.
Yeah.
Das does that all the time.
Yeah.
but Dan never does.
Fellow
so.
Sanfordian.
Yeah, you love it out there, eh? Out in
Yeah,
the
it's
sticks.
nice and peaceful.
Yeah.
That's about
Got
it.
4G out there?
Yeah.
Really?
Not all the time.
You know,
though.
actually,
Does like to cut out.
on one day during the week at work, I was feeling so shit, and I was like, oh, I'm going to go home. And I looked at, Journey Planner on TransLink, and I literally couldn't.
I could go home.
Like, there was trains to Fernie, but that's as far as it goes. Like, it was like lunchtime, and I looked, and it's like, okay, the first option was to leave work at 4:47, 13 minutes early.
That sucks.
So I was like, what the fuck do I
Yeah.
just I
Is
guess I'm
Sanford
standing?
Brisbane, though? Like,
Nah, it's Moreton Bay, isn't it, Dan? Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
confirmation
Jeez.
from the crowd.
Yeah.
it's nice in the city, eh? The big smoke.
It is, yeah.
It is, mate. I love
Crazy,
it.
eh?
Yeah.
Definitely.
I feel bad because we're just peppering you earlier, Seb, but I also wanted to know what it feels like to be the absolute number one rubbish shit off-spin bowler in Australia.
I wouldn't know. But if I were to, I would say just the doosras in my armoury. Look, can I just say for the audience, Darcy's salty because we went to Tugun once and I bowled an over of doosras and got him out every
He
single
got
ball.
dispatched for
Oh,
36.
It was negative 36.
Each wicket was 6 runs back. Sebi won it.
Look,
That's
anyway.
amazing. What goes into a doosra?
The crowd has
I
joined
don't
us.
actually know. I watched a video when we were drunk at Tugun and then just try to recreate
And he
it from
got
that.
convinced he could bowl a doosra, and he just got dispatched the
Well,
whole weekend.
Someone told me doosras are illegal in India for
Is that
children
that
under the age of 12 or something. That's what, yeah, Matt
So
Price
now that you're
told me.
14,
He's
you
like,
can finally bowl
dude,
one.
you know
so-
these two lethal in India. They've banned them for children under the age of 12. It's like a really slow ball. I don't understand.
That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I reckon that's true.
I've no idea. I'll have to.
Probably not.
I don't know.
I'll have to figure it out for
Seems
next
like
week.
a pretty cooked country over there, so I wouldn't be surprised. The lethal weapon is actually, I I forgot the
movie?
dude's name, so I don't know who the lethal weapon is.
Lasith Malinga.
Ah,
No, he's Sri Lankan, mate.
Isn't that what we're talking about? Didn't you say Sri Lanka, Seb?
Oh, I thought he said India.
I said India.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's racial profile.
Yeah,
We don't like that on
let's
this
not get
podcast.
bogged down in semantics, boys. Let's lift it up a bit.
Tell you what, actually, Darcy, I've got to give you credit today as well. First time in a while you haven't been hung as
Yeah.
fuck.
Good on you, mate.
Yeah,
And
last
you
week
come
was
in
a real
up,
struggle.
red hot.
Actually, if you look back at last week's video, I was looking at when I was editing it together. There's a moment when I'm sitting in this chair with my head back like this, and my knees are just going. And I'm pretty sure I was just trying with. Well, I'm not even speaking. I'm just like. And I'm pretty sure it was all of my effort was just going into not vomiting.
No.
It was like you're trying to do that dance move from that. I forgot what the song's
The
called. It's
chicken
like,
one?
Yeah, the chicken. They said they boogie and they woogie. That's what you were doing all last week, and it was fucking.
What a
sick.
professional operation you boys have got going on.
Yeah.
Oath, dude.
Yeah, I love it.
Only the probably the most professional podcast in southeast Queensland.
At the Caxton running right now, easily.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily, definitely. All right, well, mate, I think the other night you asked me if you had to prepare anything.
Yes, I did.
I think probably the only thing would be the two truths, one lie. Have you prepared this?
I have indeed, boys, and I've gone off the beaten track a little bit.
Okay.
Instead of telling stories about myself, I've gone on the internet and found a few lesser-known facts that perhaps you could guess which one's the lie.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So these are just random.
These
like-
are real facts off the internet. These are all being cross-referenced and checked. Okay.
This is revolutionary and
So the
interesting.
first one. The decline of Queensland/Australian rugby began in earnest when I was dropped from the Mara 16 Cs to the Ds, which symbolised a cultural shift in the game. So that's the first one. The second one is the blue whale is the loudest creature on Earth measured in decibels. Number 2. And number 3, Ben Bennett's is the biggest simp in Brisbane.
Shout out to Ben who is here in the building.
Jeez, well, I'm pretty sure the blue whale is a true one.
Yeah.
Because
That's
there
the
was something
obvious
the other
one.
day being like, if you're near it, goodbye to your ears. If you're underwater,
also-
it goes off.
I hate to rag on Seb, but I don't think he was ever good enough to be in the Seas.
I was actually. I made the Bs in the 13th.
I was going to say, Sebi had my position, I think, in under 13s in the Bs.
There you go.
Yeah,
Kept me out.
Well,
politics, mate.
well,
Right
maybe
above.
I'm pretty sure Ben is a simp though.
Ben is a simp.
Well, I'm gonna leave this up
What
to
are
you,
you going to lock it
Clutzy.
in?
I reckon maybe the death of rugby was long before
Mm.
Seb being dropped.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the death of rugby is the false one because I think Ben's a massive simp.
Yeah. Wrong. It's actually the sperm whale.
So the
So
spare
the death
one,
of rugby coincided with you getting dropped.
Yeah.
And Ben is the biggest simp.
and if
Yeah.
you check the episode notes for this podcast, that'll be where all the
I'll
references
put
are.
the footnotes in the annotations.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
worry,
yeah. It's all
It's all
peer-reviewed
above
journal
board.
articles. Yeah.
for sure.
Holy
Yeah.
fuck. You're a very learned person.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome. Mate, we were talking the other day. You brought up something about Year 8 camp that I hadn't even
Oh.
thought about.
Yeah.
Like, I've actually been thinking about it for the last 3 days. What the
Mate.
fuck happened?
This is my first interaction with Clutzy properly. We're in grade 8 camp, and keep in mind we're 12 years old, children.
Clutzy's still 113 kilos.
Looks the same. Yeah. And anyway, Clutzy just walks out of town. He goes, "Fuck, man, Dad just texted me a big salary cap scandal with the Storm." And it's like his mortgage, couldn't pay his mortgage or something. This 12-year-old kid just, "Fuck, mate, the Storm, eh?"
Dude, it was actually a trying time, though. Like,
For sure, you were rattled, mate.
I was
all camp.
heartbroken. I still remember, watching
School camps, especially
Smitty
Year
lead
8
the
camp.
boys out with bellyache, walking across Amy Park, standing in solidarity, being like, we ain't fucking going down without a fight. And I got amped up for that as a 13-year-old boy, but it rocks me.
It
I
did rock you,
literally
yeah.
had forgotten about how much it had rocked me, though, until that was brought up. So
Are you good now?
not really.
Yeah.
Still hurts.
Actually, no, I fucking am after the performance they put in against the Roosters.
Nah,
the other
fucking
night.
am. Yeah.
Yeah, fucking MG.
So, shout out to Kyle Flanagan. Don't celebrate before you win because you look like a fucking.
We
goose.
were talking about this earlier today. When he kicked that kick, it wasn't even to take the lead. It was to level it.
Ridiculous.
Idiot.
Oh, he looks younger than me, so.
Yeah. 13.
Strong jawline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot bloke.
Strong jawline. Yeah.
Let's try not to turn this into a sports podcast like last week.
The sports podcast. Does it happen a lot?
Nah, last week we
No,
just
it's on
waffled on a
brand,
bit.
but
Last
the
week I think
audience-
I brought up something and I just started going on a tangent. And,
True.
I don't know.
Do you think it's a bit rugby league heavy as well for our southern audience?
Fuck them. Hardly anyone even listens anyway,
Yeah, I
so
know.
it's just better to please the 4 people that are tuning in than.
Say whatever you want. No
Yeah.
one's listening.
Exactly right, yeah. Seb comes up to you, I'm so nervous. And it's like everyone who normally listens is in the room today, Seb, so there's nothing to be nervous about.
Yeah, no drama.
Exactly.
Cool.
We actually had a ripper week last week. Probably our biggest week of streams.
Who was it? Jacko last week?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, nice.
Coming on to clear the air.
What's the number I'm trying to beat? 43.
Well, Benny's episode is up to 46, I think, as of last night, downloads. This is not including YouTube, so I don't really look at that. But
Yeah.
and Jacko's up to 41, but he's only been live for 5 days, whereas Ben's been up there for a few weeks. So,
Is that the whole thing or like a clip from Jackson?
what do you mean?
Like was
No,
that
the whole thing.
No, the whole,
40
yeah,
thing?
yeah,
whole
yeah.
thing.
So it's Spotify and iTunes.
Okay.
But we got
Understand.
over 100 streams in the last 7 days, which is pretty
That's
cool.
pretty sick.
Yeah,
Well done, boys.
big milestone.
It is. We're slowly creeping.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if you're
follow
listening right now, just copy the link and just send it to. If everyone did that and sent it to one person, we get 200.
Yeah, for sure.
It's easy.
Exactly.
Just fucking do it, please.
It might
Please,
improve the
I'll do
quality.
anything.
Please, literally. Tell me what I need to do
It
to
might
make that
improve
happen.
the quality. Most likely won't.
Probably
Nah,
not.
definitely not.
Could contribute to future beer funds though.
How's your
Mm.
week been, boys? Anyway, what's been the rose and the thorn?
The Rose. It's not a sports podcast, so we won't go there.
Yeah, we fucking
So-
talked about it 10 times
The
already.
Reds.
Oh, the Reds. I think you could say the Storm.
I was going to say it, but the crowd
been
really
said
wants me
10
to say
times.
the Reds. Nah, I don't know. I've just been having a ripper week, to be perfectly honest.
Nice.
Had a couple. I got my first solo win on Warzone.
Saw that.
Smashed a couple of beers. Got another win.
It's the
We're
small
just-
things, eh?
It
We're
is.
just like honestly. I haven't seen my girlfriend much because of Warzone
It's
recently.
the small things. It's the small
it
things.
exactly.
It's the price
right.
you got to pay,
It's the
mate.
small wins.
Yeah.
But we are slowly climbing up.
Does
the
sound like a good
leaderboard.
week.
Yeah,
It was great. The Thorn. I'm working all weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that does suck.
Back on that burger grind from 2 p.m. this afternoon at Miss K's Mitchelton.
Very nice.
He loves
But
a plug for Miss K's.
Does he? Is
Yeah.
that the official sponsor?
Yeah, well, I think they could be the official sponsor.
Yeah.
Be nice if they pay me a bit more. For
So
Yeah.
it's Miss K's and Mozilla Firefox are
Yeah.
the two sponsors.
Yeah, that's who we run with.
Yeah, cool.
None of that Google Chrome shit.
Fuck
Don't
that.
insult me, mate.
I'd rather
fancy.
Internet Explorer over Google Chrome.
Yeah, I'd rather no internet.
I used Internet Explorer at my work for so long, and it was so
Really?
annoying. Yeah. When they set up my computer, it was like the default
Is
thing.
it still dial-up?
It is so inferior. When I changed over, I was like, why did it took me like 6 months. Like, why did I take so long to do this?
I have a bone to pick with them.
Who?
Ah, bone to pick.
Whoever created Internet Explorer. Why haven't you upgraded it?
It's called
It's shit.
something else now. I can't remember what.
Edge.
Maybe
Edge, yeah.
Maybe I've got to withdraw my bone then.
No, it's just
No,
as
keep the
bad.
bone
Just a
out.
new
It's
name.
just
Yeah.
Leave the bone there, buddy.
Leave the bone.
I'm with you.
there.
I'm with you.
Big time.
I'll join you on that bone. for
And
sure.
actually make it really hard to change out of. Like, there's so many default things. Like, I
Yeah.
click on links or emails, and I've got Chrome
Yeah.
running, but it opens in an Internet Edge or whatever it is. Fuck.
What a J.
G up.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
But mate, you've
Spe-
asked us about our weeks. How's your week been?
That's been alright. Not too bad. I thought we were going to segue into a boner pick. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've got a bit of left of field one.
Yeah,
Okay,
go.
go.
So
Yeah.
this is a relatively new segment on the
Oh,
podcast.
is it really?
Well, I think we've done
This
three,
will be our
two.
third or fourth week.
Yeah.
Right.
So we just like to give
I
people
may
a
have missed the
platform.
point, I'll be honest, but I'll,
No, we just like to
We'll
give
have
people a platform just to
yeah.
pick
get
a
their
bone with
gripes out.
anyone. Yeah,
This
exactly.
one's less of a gripe, more just like I'm a bit confused.
Okay.
And potentially the worst piece of advice I've ever received. So you know that saying, catch a fish for a man, he'll eat for a night. Teach a man to fish, he'll eat forever.
Mm.
If you've got a monopoly over the fish market and this cunt doesn't know how to fish, why the fuck would you teach him?
Why wouldn't you just eat forever?
Mate, sell that at a
never thought-
premium.
Why don't you sell him food for life?
Forever, you got
yeah.
a monopoly on the game.
Yeah.
That's basic economics. But
One of the
maybe I've
most-
missed the point.
One of the most well-known sayings.
It's just the worst piece of advice I've ever received.
Yeah.
It's up there with be yourself.
Never thought of that.
Up there for you.
What?
It's up there with be yourself. Don't know which one's worse.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, actually. Oh no, it's not related. I was gonna say, you know what I hate? Like, I hate when appliances and things like that. Like, some things you use them and you're like, how did this get past product testing?
Yeah.
Right? Like, we got a new fry pan the other day, and I'm cooking on it, and you go to touch the handle's boiling hot.
That's
Like, did
fucked.
no one test this?
It's 2020.
Where'd you get it from?
I
Slash
didn't
how
buy
much?
it. It was Mum's like, it's an expensive one.
What?
Yeah.
Do you know what the company was?
No.
We can
I'll
throw them
find
under the
out.
bus big time. We
Yeah.
could really fuck them
That
up.
could
Yeah.
have been a
Yeah.
mad bone to pick.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
I'll bring. I'll
Do a bit of digging.
Yeah,
Surely
I'll
you get a
find
little
it next
bit
week.
of rubber
But shit like that, it's like, did no one test this?
Yeah, that is ridiculous. Eh?
They touch. Oh, it's a bit hot, but
Maybe
too
it
late
was a
now.
bloke
Just-
who's lost all sensation in his fingers.
True.
what are the chances though?
Oh, very high.
Hi.
Very high.
Everyone in that
I touched
factory
a
has
couple
no
of grills
hands.
in my time. I don't have much feeling in these twiddlies anymore.
I think everyone that works there's an amputee, so they wouldn't know.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Checks out. Yeah.
Exactly. They're not grabbing it. They're sort of like.
I mean, it looks fun.
Like fucking Rawalawa trying to catch the footy last night. Saucepan for hands.
Six for fingers. Yeah, fuck.
Shout out to Geordie Madden.
Jody mad.
Jeez. I tell you what.
Can we tell that story? Has that been told?
Which one?
Geordie on the cruise when he signed for his drinks.
Please go.
Definitely tell that story.
On the
Bit of background.
Yeah, so the boys went on a cruise. Cesspit never got.
We were
on
like
one.
18,
youngest
19?
by
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
30 years.
Yeah.
like-
Actually, that's how we met Scott and Shane
Yeah,
Ferguson.
So
yeah.
that was probably like the good thing that came out of it. It was fun, but yeah, you have to like sign. Like they set an account, and every time you buy a drink, you sign at the bottom. And Geordie just gets more drunk as the night goes on. And by the end, he's signing his things as Geordie Mad Cunt.
Written on every receipt. Just go and get a cocktail or whatever, and they put it to your room, and you have to
and
sign.
you can tip the bartenders.
Yeah.
And Geordie's tipping him like $50.
Yeah.
Triple the price of the drink. Like,
I'll never forget. What about the night when because it was like a week-long cruise, and I think we had 3 days where we went off the boat to like an island.
Yeah.
It was like Vanuatu, New Caledonia, and
Efu or something like that.
yeah. Anyway, and we just like had big night after big night, and it was the first night we were going to. I think we're going to New Caledonia first. I can't remember anyway. And they're like, oh, the last boat to the island leaves like 8 o'clock in the morning. So if you miss it, you just sit on the boat all day and don't go. And it got to like 2 a.m. and I was like, boys, like, we need to go to bed because we're going to miss this fucking boat in 6 hours. And like, what a waste of a trip. And Geordie was going, yeah. I'm going to stay up till fucking breakfast is on and just go straight over. And everyone was like, shut the fuck up, Jordan. Like, he just wouldn't shut up. And he kept turning the light on him. And I was so angry at him. I was like, Geordie, if we miss this boat in the morning, it's 100% your fault and I'm going to bash you to death. Anyway, wake up in the morning to this like PA announcement. I'm like, oh, what the fuck was that? And I can't remember who it was. Someone was like, holy fuck, we just missed the last boat in the morning. And I sat up. I was like, Geordie, I'm going to fucking kill you. And he gets up and he checks his phone. He's like, dude, that was the announcement for the first boat. Everyone was so mad. He was like, fuck you. We're on the first boat over.
You would have taken that so personally.
Oh, it was so funny. He
They
got
got like ridiculously cheap, eh? Those.
yeah, we got it like 2 weeks before
It
the
was like
trip
$400,
left.
all food. Like the only thing you bought was piss. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
That's
It'd be cheap. It's cheaper than being homeless. Do you know what I mean?
Legit, yeah. It was $400 for a
You
week.
could just live on cruise ships
Yeah.
forever and never
Just book them
rent.
2 weeks out.
So cheap. And
Yeah.
the
That's
American
good
ones are
knowledge.
even cheaper. You can get like ones for like $100 for like 5 days.
You know what's dangerous about it was, because it was cashless, you hooked up your, everything was charged like your room key basically, like your room card. But you could hook your credit card up to your room key, but then you could put your room key into the pokies. So you could essentially put your credit card into the
Yeah.
pokies.
That's awesome.
One of our mates, Sam Barker, like I think I spent $600 in the week on piss. Sam spent like 1,700.
Yeah, he spent
so
shit.
Remember he kept buying Wi-Fi? Or was that you? Sam kept disappearing. Where is he? And he'd run off.
in the room. Don't let me buy Wi-Fi, boys. And just sprint off and buy Wi-Fi.
It was so expensive. It was like
Do you
50
remember
bucks a
that
half an hour.
security guard chick? She was like, she looked like the girl from Dodgeball.
No.
And she was like, no drinking games, because we sculled in the thing. Do you remember her?
Yeah,
She was like the
yeah.
scariest woman I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like 6 foot
We
8.
used-
She looked
we
like
got our
Dylan
cards
Napa,
got-
but
As in
blonde.
like evil Nagorga Naga.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mixed with Dylan Napa, but a chick.
Yeah.
And angry. And English.
Do you remember when because we stayed on the level where the casino was,
Yeah.
and there was a blackjack table, and they used to get so mad at us because we'd fill the table and just do like $5 bets, like the minimum bet,
Yeah.
and we're all standing around this table for so long, like just essentially begging them to open it without us asking. And one of my mates, Bordy, was the only one who didn't want to pay for drinks on the boat, so he smuggled in rum.
Yeah, in like
He
camelback.
Yeah.
is the biggest
Penny pincher.
stinge. Yeah,
Yeah.
penny pincher boards. I call him penny pincher boards, and he gets so fucking mad about it. But I don't know, like, surely people listening to this have mates who are just, like, the ultimate penny pinchers. This is the same dude
Let's not
who
get into
I
it.
talked about last week who had a can of fucking mango slices that were, like, 12 years at least expired. Come on, mate. It's like $1.50 for a can of fucking mango slices. It's not that difficult. It's really not.
What about this is segued so far? But a few years ago, we went up to Torval, Jackson's family's holiday house, to watch State of Origin. On the way out, we like stopped and got some grocery shit. We just got like frozen pies and stuff. And the next day, we all had a massive night and we're so hungover. It was like Origin. It was like Wednesday.
Yeah.
This is when we were all at uni, so we weren't working full time and stuff. And we're sitting at Caboolture, KFC, and Seb's there like head in hands, and he's like, "Boys, I just want it to happen." And everyone's like, "What?" He's like, "I just want to hit rock bottom, so then I just know that it's only up from there." And then Rory turns to him, he's like, "Seb, yesterday you had to split pay a 4-pack of frozen pies because you didn't have enough money on your card."
And their own special was like less than $2. It was like 30 cents off $1.70 cash.
So like scrounged all the coins out of his wallet so he could split
I
pay
hit
it.
rock bottom months
So
ago.
it seems like, Seb, you are there, mate. And you're like, well, at least it's up from here.
And it wasn't.
We're still spiraling.
Yeah, just lateral.
Anyway, back to the cruise ship story. So they finally opened this fucking blackjack tab and we're all like, fuck yeah, and we're all doing $5 bets. So you can just tell the dealer's like, fuck these pricks. And we're all so drunk. And because like I remember trying to save money, so I was drinking VB cans. I remember we were drinking those fucked up cocktails. They were like Rusty Nails or something. It was like Scotch and Drambuie. Oh, I've never been more hungover in my life. Anyway, so they finally opened up and Bordy's been hiding in his room drinking his shit by himself. And remember he had that like plastic cocktail glass. And he bought it out. It was so sus. Everyone's drinking it and Bordy's got this plastic cocktail glass in his room. And he's real drunk and he's sitting there and he like gets his hand and he tries to go, like, I'll stay, and just knocks his glass all over this fucking blackjack table. Like, and it was so obvious it was alcohol then. And they all just looked at us and like, we're shutting the fucking table. Get out of here.
I do remember. I remember going for like a piss at like 2 a.m. in our cabin. And I think it was like late. I thought I was at my house or some shit in Brisbane. So I like, took the wrong door out and just left the room. And I locked behind me. And I was just in my underpants. And I was banging on the door. I was like, damn. Just not fucking waking up. So I had to walk through the ship at like 3 a.m. just in underpants to the lobby and be like, hey, sorry, I got locked out of my room. Can you let me in? It was...
What
holy
about
shit.
after... Because it was one of our other mates, Sam's birthday on like the first night. And they had this thing you could either... there was like a buffet which you just rock up to for all your meals, or there was a restaurant and it was like real fancy. You had to book. It was free, but you just had to book in because like numbers filled up.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, we'll book lunch for Sam's birthday, and we had a massive night the night before. And like, I don't know about you, Seb, but it's the first one I've ever been on a cruise, and like the
And
feeling,
last.
the feeling of having a hangover and you're laying in bed and the bed's just going, like rocking side to side is horrible.
It's like times 2.
so
It's
bad,
fucked,
like
yeah.
times 10, I reckon.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, so we all woke up, we were like, holy shit. So we go down to lunch, like 3 courses. I remember I was sitting directly opposite Sam, and he was like pale white, just sweating so much. And he gets his Caesar salad, and he just pushed it around the plate. He's like, oh, I feel so sick. But they come to clear the table, like, oh, he's like, yeah, don't really like Caesar salad. And I think we had like a cheeseburger. Sam took one bite and just put it down. He's like, I gotta go, and just legged it. And the staff was so confused, like, what the fuck's wrong with him? And we came back to our room like an hour later after lunch, and Sam's naked on the floor and just stinks of vomit. And you go into the bathroom and there's just spew everywhere.
Dude, what was the nightclub called on the boat?
Like level 14 or something, I can't remember.
So weird. But the best part of that whole trip is like it was the last night they played I'm on a boat. That was awesome.
We literally went to bed at like 6 a.m. and then docked into Brizzy at 8.
So good.
Or what about on the first night when we got on the cocktails on the after? Because it was literally, because it was like cashless. It was so dangerous. So we're all on the deck like leaving, because we're only like 18, 19.
Yeah,
So
we were like fresh 19.
yeah, we
fresh
like
18,
didn't go out and drink that much. So we're like, this is so sick. Like
Yeah.
we just, another one. And Geordie Madden got on the Long Island iced teas. And there was a night where you're supposed to dress up for dinner and put your dinner suits on. And we thought it was the first night, but it was actually the second night.
Yes, I remember
So the
this.
first night we booked in for dinner at the restaurant, we all roll in like fucking steaming.
And we're
Like,
like 19. We look
Geordie,
like such
Geordie
fuckheads.
literally cannot speak, and he's just drinking Long Island iced teas, dressed full suit. Like, it was an
That's
absolute
fucked.
shit show.
I know. What a great look.
It was
Fucking
great.
sick.
Good fun though.
Yeah, it was fun.
Good
I
trip.
think that was a fun trip, but I don't think I'd go on a cruise.
No way. You know what the worst part was? Because we stopped on the way over. Like, you go out and you go stop, get off, stop, get off. But then on the way back, we had like 4 days straight of just traveling.
Nothing.
And
Yeah,
you wake
that
up, you're like,
sucks.
what do we do?
Yeah.
Just
Get
get back on the
blind.
piss. Remember on the last day, we went to breakfast, and they're pushing the drink carts around, and there was no beers in the drink cart, and everyone's like, fuck, the drink carts look empty. That's so weird. And everyone's like, oh, it's because we haven't been awake for breakfast yet. And they obviously don't serve beers at breakfast.
That's so
Thanks,
scat.
Benny.
Hey, cheers, brother.
Little Benny
Um,
beer delivery.
Cheers, mate.
This is going to be a
With
disaster.
cruises and alcohol, a bit of a weird, like a tangent. Not really. But 2016, when I was over in New York, I remember I was sitting in my bed in the morning, and I just got this FaceTime request from Michael Toffel. And
Yes, please.
he was going on a cruise
Thanks.
with some other people from school, like with their families. I remember he's fucking FaceTime me, and he's just got this mutant face on. And I'm like, cunt, what time is it wherever you are? Oh, there's the first one. by the way.
Actually,
Sorry.
Seb said it before as well, so we're too deep.
2D. I'm glad you're here, mate. That's the first time someone said it before me.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I get this FaceTime message from him, and I was just like, what is happening? He's like, mate, Dad paid for a free alcohol package.
Oh.
It's 9 a.m. I haven't slept, and I'm on the piss in the breakfast buffet.
Fuck. That's what
And
we
there's
should
all
have done.
these like kids running around in the background of the video, and I was like, holy shit, cruises seem like the wildest time.
It was pretty wild. But I wouldn't
It
go,
is
I wouldn't
for,
do it
like,
again.
The lowest rung of society, but
It literally, it was
is.
like, there was
These people are animals that go on cruises.
Do you know actually the reason why Scott and Shane went is because Scott won, their parents had booked to go, and Scott won 10 grand on the pokies the week before and then shouted him and Shane.
That's sick.
That's awesome. What a good bloke.
But wasn't Shane just coming out of something as well on that trip? Like, didn't he have surgery or some shit?
Yeah, and he wasn't supposed to drink. He had his gallbladder out, and he was like, "Oi, boys, want to see me kick the roof?" It's his party trick. Remember on the first night, Scott's on the deck with a ciggy going, "I'm a Maris boy," and like putting the ciggy out on his tongue. So fucked.
Oh, it is so cool.
Who are those girls that you guys became friends with? I don't really see
Oh
them.
yeah, Caitlin and
Did you ever hang out with them in Brisbane again?
yeah, a couple times.
Yeah. Were they fun?
They were dating. They split up.
Oh, true.
I can't think of the other chick's
Sad.
name. Haley.
Harvey. They
Yeah.
were like Kiwis, eh?
No,
Or
I
not?
don't think
Was
so.
it? Oh.
That is very
Miss
sad.
them, eh? The ones that got away.
Something like
Maybe you'll find him again. Maybe
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe the old Tinder.
Mm.
Actually, a mate of mine the other day put up on his Instagram a couple of horror stories from Tinder. Well,
Go
not
on.
really horror stories, but screenshots of people that he's come across recently. I'm glad that I'm not single and seeing this shit, because fuck me, there are some cooked units out there.
Yeah, it's awful.
There are some cooked units out there. There was like a couple of them I can't say, but one of them just messaged him out of the blue on Bumble and was saying how she'd met a guy and on Bumble or whatever it was, had a couple of things and was just scatting out messaging him about this, and he was just like, this is the weirdest thing ever, like
For sure.
what is going on?
I've seen heaps of like a big like caption that I've seen flying around a lot is like, I'm studying education, so one day I'll teach you kids, but for day I'll just swallow them.
That is fucked.
It's scary. I'm like, what? It's so intimidating.
It's just like, I'm a 25-year-old man, I just
Yeah.
want to settle down.
I just want someone who likes
You know?
bookmarks and period dramas.
Scotty Ferguson just sent me a text. Big tractor.
Is he? How
yeah.
is he?
Yeah, good. He
Is he
just
still
asked-
buying a crane?
What?
Yeah. Him and Ben are buying a crane. Apparently he can make a mozza.
Yeah, Scotty's a smart dude.
Yeah.
Wouldn't put it past him.
It's a bit of height for hire there.
Yeah.
Hide
Yeah, height for hire.
Between
Official
you and
sponsor of
Fergo, you
Jeeps
probably don't
and
even need a fucking
behind.
crane. Two of the tallest blokes I've ever
Tall
met.
timbers.
Tall timbers.
We'll get Hurdy and we'll be the tallest people in fucking Brisbane.
Jesus, yeah. You guys standing on each other's shoulders, reckon like 13 feet tall, maybe?
Yeah, see, this is, you know what's funny is that, like, so our mate Duncan, Hurdy, great bloke. He's a bit taller than me. I think I'm 193,
Is Hurdy taller
194.
than you?
Yeah, but I think I've got almost twice his body weight. The bloke's like
Oh,
100.
at least.
The guy's 100.
Oh, maybe.
I think he's like 197 centimeters or something, and he's 69 kilos. So he's a twig. He's a fucking twig. He's been 69 kilos since I don't know how long.
Like, I consider myself pretty small, and I was like heavier than that in high school.
There's not much there. Like, it's funny seeing him at festivals and stuff because he's like a spooky skeleton. He's just like,
Good bloke though.
like yeah, great bloke. But it's funny
Great
because
bloke.
Great bloke.
it looks
Yeah,
so
mate.
weird because he's taller than me, but I get him on my shoulders so easily, and it's just like having a little pillow.
Just a
Having a little pillow resting on your
little
shoulder.
6'4" pillow.
And then
It's like one of those long ones that you can cut
yeah,
off.
the wifey pillow.
he tried to put me on his
Yeah, I've
shoulders
got
one day. And it,
Let's not get into that.
Do you want to talk us through your bedroom
Cut that
setup?
out,
Or
cut that out, cut that out. Go the Broncos.
leave that in.
yeah, but he
Actually, last week I was like, if you're listening, because we recorded on Saturday last week, I was like, if you're listening to this, the Broncos have won 13 plus the night before. Didn't that age well?
Didn't that age like milk, mate?
Age like milk in the kettle. That one.
oh,
Disgusting.
jeez. Hopefully they can put in a good performance tonight. Saw Tony Staggs today. Actually, we
Yeah.
locked eyes.
Did ya? How is he?
I don't
He
know.
just
He was
drove
driving
past.
past.
Yeah.
Nice little Toyota Hilux by the look of things.
I heard he frequents Fridays.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Enjoys a drink.
Don't we all?
There we are. Yeah. Well, here we are.
You know, I reckon just let them play on. If they want to get pissed at Fridays on a Monday,
Yeah.
let them do it.
Have I missed something? Since when was it bad for rugby league players to enjoy the piss?
When is it bad for sports people to
When's it
enjoy
bad
the
for anyone
piss?
to enjoy the piss?
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe if you don't
I've
have
missed something
kidneys.
Have I missed a beat here?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like that saying.
We need some
Yeah, it's like
characters
that
back.
saying.
I was
Glass
thinking,
houses, pot calling the kettle 6 of wine.
as they say, Rome
Yeah,
wasn't
you
built
know what
in a
they say.
day.
Yeah. Rebel Wilson wasn't built in a day.
There's a lot of time and effort into that beauty.
Yeah, you don't wake up like that.
No, you don't. You don't at all. You know, I keep going back and thinking
If you're about to talk
about
about
your
the
fish
fucking storm
analogy.
again.
No,
Oh, yeah.
your fish analogy. That is one of the funniest things I've ever heard.
I mean, it just confuses
and
me.
like, I've got to ask Dad now because,
Has he told you that before?
well, no. Well, Dad's a massive fisherman. Like,
I was actually on his Facebook today, I
Yeah.
think, or yesterday.
Yeah, he
maybe.
posted something in the group about he
Yes,
cleaned up on the
yeah,
whiting.
Yeah, he
yeah,
did.
he caught 47 yesterday.
47 whiting.
Yep.
In
He-
one
he
sitting.
actually-
And talk about tell him the ratio of who was
Yeah,
like,
okay. So he went out fishing. I had work, so I couldn't go out with him. Otherwise, this would have been a shit show. And he took a mate of his. A mate of his followed him out in his boat with his family. I think there was 4 of them on the boat. And Dad was by himself on his boat. Went to the same spot. Got there about 7 a.m. And by 9 o'clock or 8:45, Dad had done 3 drifts and he caught 47 fish. That's 47 whiting to catch.
guess what the next closest was? Have a guess. Same boat.
Same boat, same
No,
location.
there was another boat.
Oh,
so there's
right.
2 boats, but they were
Like
literally
together?
fishing the exact same section.
Have a guess. Have a guess how many they caught.
13.
That is so close. 12.
Fucking good guess.
That's great. But yeah, how ridiculous is that? They did the same amount of drifts, same area, same time, 4 times more people, and Dad's just there with 4 times as many fish.
True.
And it just goes to show that sometimes the tools you use are really fucking important.
I was waiting for you to say something really wise.
Did
Then,
your dad teach anyone else how to do that? Or did he
Well, that's the thing. Dad takes people out there all the time, and he's actually said to me, he's like, he's taken a couple of boys from school and their families, like Noxie. Noxie
Yeah.
and his dad have gone out there with him, and he shows them it, and he's like, all right. But the same sort of thing happened actually with them. Noxie's brother was back from playing footy in Japan, and they came out, and there was Dad and I. Really rough conditions. I'd been on the piss the night before.
unlike you.
And yeah, and the waves and shit were just fucked. I felt so crook. We caught in terrible conditions 60 fish between us, Dad and I, and the Knoxes I think had caught like 7.
give up?
Amateurs.
And
Stick to footy, Noxie.
before
Footy.
Stick to being a
Stick
good
to your
bloke.
virgin footy, mate.
Dad gave them our fishing rods to borrow just to use for a different thing. They swung by later that afternoon and dropped them off, and they caught like 60 or 70 fish. Just goes to show
It's all about the tools.
it's all about the tools.
Just goes to show anything that Mick Clutterbuck touches turns to
Turns
gold.
to gold. Call him King Midas. 'cause
Yeah.
That guy's got the golden touch.
That's it.
Fucking oath.
Look at his son.
Yeah.
Oh,
The offspring. The prince to the throne.
shout out to Michael Clutterbuck, you're the sponsor of the podcast.
Yeah,
today,
and
mate.
always the
keep
sponsor of the
being you.
podcast.
Keep
Yeah,
being
we
you.
literally wouldn't be here without you, Mick.
Yeah, we could.
It's funny, actually. The other night at your place, Seb, talking to another one of the boys.
Do you need to spew? Look at your knees.
No, I'm just toey. I just love talking about fishing.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, the other night at your place, Seb, got to see our good mate Laro. Known him for a while, been 20 years or so. But he came up to me and he's like, "Is it true?" I was like, "Is what true?" He's like, "Does your dad seriously think I'm the toughest footy player he's ever seen?" I was like, "Yes,
It is
he
true."
genuinely does." And it's funny because, you know, Laro is the fellas in your footy team, they're like the smaller guys that just sort of get fucking bashed when you're younger, but they just get back up. Dad always used to say he's the sort of bloke that he's like, I've never seen someone get hit so fucking hard and get up straight away. And that's why I admire him. It's like, he's not that he's the greatest at football. He's not very good, but he just gets up and keeps going.
Just a bit of ticker. Get him a Broncos jersey.
Yeah,
Fuck.
for sure.
Fucking oath. Actually, I have a bone to pick with a mate of ours. He's probably not listening because he's not a true mate then. Eden. On Twitter. Hang on, I sort of lost my train of thought there.
Oh,
Going to
God.
pick with Eden.
There's just that much rage.
There's a lot there.
There's that much rage. That's right. He put up something last night on Twitter where none of us have that Twitter platform.
Nah.
I do to keep
Don't
a check
care.
on him.
Don't care.
I do to keep a bit of an
Just
eye
keep
on
Eden
him.
in line.
Exactly. And he was trying to pay out the Reds last night about how the Storm and Roosters had a bigger crowd the night before at Suncorp. First of all, that's not true. Second of all, why can't the boys just support Queenslanders? You know?
All
It's
the
actually
league boys
really
hate
annoying me.
Union.
It's
That's
really annoying
That's
me.
false. Have you show me where I've talked shit about the Reds anywhere?
Never, because you're a
Are
good
you
bloke.
talk? What?
Where? Show
Bring
me.
up the Winter of the Reds group chat.
I don't. I've never said anything bad about the Reds.
Bullshit. Yeah.
It's
that's
not
such
bullshit. Okay, well we'll take this offline, but you can
Guys,
show me after
yeah,
this.
This is a media beat up, mate. This is a joke.
Jeez,
Actually, Clutzy, just on that, someone texted me during the week, wanted to pick a bone with you,
oh, yeah?
about the podcast, which is unbelievable. I'm not making this. Is
Who?
you can't script this.
Who?
Nick Harris. Where is it? I'm not even a Liverpool fan. I have a bone to pick with Klutz, because you know how you talking shit about Liverpool last week, how they won on like a shortened season and stuff.
Yeah.
He'll definitely be listening to this as well, so you can. He listens every week, so you can
Well,
respond.
Nick, before we get ahead,
Wait on, can I just read what he says?
No.
The season isn't shortened, and
No.
winning the Premier League is 100% harder than winning a grand final. The win is the best team over 8 months, not just 4 finals.
You're fucking wrong, mate. You're so fucking wrong. Okay, so with that being said then, so, all right, the NRL's what, like 26 weeks or
Yeah.
some shit? So you're saying that after 26 weeks, whoever's number one after 26 weeks should stay as number one?
I think that's exactly what
And
you're
not
saying. Yeah.
prove
that's
themselves. What happens if there is a team that has gone through a bunch of injuries and they've still kept themselves in the top 8? Let's say the Roosters this year, who are arguably probably the best team
Who
at
have
the moment.
kept themselves at the top 1.
But they've lost so many players. Let's say they go on a losing streak now because they just got demoralised by my boys. And they dropped down to 6th. But they're still in the finals. Are you saying that they don't have the right to fight for number 1? Just get off your high horse, Nick. No one fucking cares about the EPL anyway, particularly not me. Well, there's a lot of people that do, but not me. And honestly, my opinion only matters
Clutzy,
to
what?
myself.
Seb, actually, ask this Seb of this one. Do you think less people care about this podcast or the EPL?
I think a lot of
The
people care
EPL.
about this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, the EPL.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What does it stand for? The English
Yeah.
Premier
Losers.
Losers. Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly. Now, Nick, I know you enjoyed the ball story the other week, but I'm off ya. I'm off ya.
Oh, we've had actually
I'm
a
gonna
request from the crowd.
Yeah.
They want us to get back on that fishing track.
ridiculous. Yeah, back on the fishing track, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about fishing. I've been fishing like twice.
Yeah, so.
Really.
Yeah.
So, basically, maybe my dad should. Yeah, because my dad just takes random people out. So maybe my dad should stop taking people out. Dad has a monopoly on the fishing market.
Yeah.
Does he? And you
Holy
can buy a
fuck.
smart man. You clever man.
That's why he doesn't want to teach anyone. Why would he teach
why
anyone how to fish?
But he keeps
He's making a
teaching
monster
people.
cunt.
So wake up yourself, Dad. Maybe I could start. Oh no, I can't sell your fish because that's apparently illegal. How weird is that? If you catch a fish, you can't sell it to another person because it's illegal.
Really?
You need to have an
Really?
actual
Who-
fishing
who-
fishing industry
Okay. I was
license.
going to say, who catches the fish up like Woolies?
Professional
Michael
fisherman.
Clutterbuck.
He wishes. He wishes. But yeah. No, Dad's a... I forgot the exact
Beg
quote
your
the other
pardon?
night, but Dad was saying how he was going through... Because we were talking about people just giving shit to people on just pages on Facebook, like being keyboard warriors. I love it. But he was saying the other night... Excuse me, just gurgling. He was saying the other night that he put up a photo of some whiting that he caught on this page. It was like some fishing page. And he's like, there's always one dickhead out there, no matter what you do, they're always going to call you out about stuff. And he was so proud about his comeback because this guy kept saying that one of the fish he caught was too small. Dad was just like, if you have an issue with it, bring it up with the fisheries, mate. And I'll be more than happy to show them the dead carcass of the whiting that I caught. I was like, good on you, mate. And he's like, yeah. And then he said something else again. And he's like, my comeback, whenever that happens, is there's this photo of this fat kid. And the caption is, Mum, go get me another Hot Pocket because I'm being a badass on Facebook. And he just started laughing. And I was like, that is the most boomer thing.
Yeah, was it like a low res?
Yeah,
Yeah.
But like the way he said it as well, he's like, Mum, go get me a Hot Pocket. I'm being a badass on Facebook over here. I was like, good on your dad.
We should get your
proud
dad
of
on the podcast. I think it'd be
Yeah.
funny as.
Mate, he's so toey to do stuff.
Yeah.
Like, last night, he's like, mate, we got fresh whiting. Let's do the
We
beer
want to
batter."
do episode 2 of Cooking with Klutz.
That'd be
He
sick.
really wants to do it with me.
Do it, beer batter,
He
fish
was
and
actually
chips.
going to go out and buy an electric frying pan, a portable one, so he could put it on this table downstairs so we could do it in the driveway in front of the boat.
Fuck yeah.
He's got it all planned out already, and I'm like, mate, look, I'll talk to my people, you talk to your people, and we'll come up with something together.
Can we get a bit of decorum in the crowd, please?
No, it's alright, I can't hear it. No, carry on.
I think Ben just got the deepest voice ever. I was not going to hear him.
Must have big nuts then.
Little Benny Ballsack.
Oh, ridiculous. No, I love it. No, fishing's great, but I'm going to have to bring it up with Dad that he does have a monopoly on the market, stop being a good bloke and teaching people, and start selling fish on the black
Yeah.
He could make a killing.
We wouldn't have to be slaving away here in the podcast studio. We could just be living off all mix.
Slumming it in here, man.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Exactly. I'd love to smell like fish 24/7.
Oh, you do already.
Thank you. I think.
Thank you.
Yeah. Actually, I got home last night, and I was walking up the
Congratulations.
stairs. Doesn't happen often. Oh, actually, no, that story's shit. Talk about getting home.
Like most
Talking
of the
about
other ones
getting
you've told
home,
today.
I actually wasn't sure if we'd get home the other night from your place.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Did you, like, Roz and I, we got the DD. You guys live in, like, just near Indrapillia. Got back to Ashgrove in the DD in less than 10 minutes.
What? That's suspiciously quick.
It was way too quick. This guy was flooring it, and Rory and I are sitting in the back of the car. It's like 3:30 on fucking Friday morning, just looking at each other going, no, this is cool.
This ain't it.
As soon as I got out, I was like, see you later, Roz, have a good one. He texts me, and he's just like, I'm going to fucking die. I was like, and he just kept texting me the whole way home. Then I fell asleep on him. Didn't take long. He's only 2 minutes up the road, but I fell asleep straight away. But it was generally spooky, man.
Speaking of suspiciously quick, I went to Red Rooster the
Are
other
you
day.
talking about my right arm overs?
No, not your wanking. I went to Red Rooster the other day and ordered a...
You'd be correct.
Yeah, I'd ordered a rooster roll. And she goes, yeah, no worries. Turns around, brings it back. It's ready.
Yeah, that's fucked.
Way too
Not
quick.
made to order.
I think what's happened there, someone's ordered another type of rooster roll, and they've made the wrong one.
Oh,
So,
and I've been
so it's probably
stitched
been
up.
sitting there for a while. It's like when you go to Macca's, you can tell if that burger's been sitting in the little hot box for a while because it's a little bit crusty on the... It's just not good. Just chuck it out or give it to the boys. They've been working hard.
How's your relationship with Macca's
Yeah.
now?
Great.
Is it still...
No, it's
Still
great.
fantastic.
Well, yeah, no, I obviously got the flick from there a few years ago.
Yeah, contentious.
4
Yeah.
years ago, 3 days before. Oh,
This
the day before my
podcast,
birthday.
funnily enough, is fueled like this specific episode is fueled by McDonald's Milton.
It is.
Yeah.
I think all our podcasts are. The amount of money
Actually,
we've
we went-
chucked through Macca's
We were
Milton
there
in the
last
few
weekend as well.
weeks.
Yep.
Must be nice being a Macca's
Must be
owner.
nice. Yeah, franchisee, they'd be making a killing, mate.
Yeah.
Mozza, for sure.
Print your
More
own
than
money.
like teaching someone to fish.
Or, well, how do they get their fillet of fish patties?
Michael Clutterbuck
That answers that question.
tied it up. It all comes together. It all makes
All
sense.
roads lead. All roads lead to
To Michael
WWE. Michael Clutterbuck and WWE entrances.
But no, mate, the Macca's relationship's going strong.
It is a good place.
Yeah, but
Good little restaurant.
I do wish that I could break up with them sometimes, though.
You'll
there's-
get there, mate.
there's
Just
a lot
get
of
around the
key-
boys.
There's a lot of KGs down here.
How many precisely?
The last time I weighed myself, I was 123.9 kilos. A gentleman's 124.
And when was that?
2 weeks ago
Oh,
when I was
okay, so
watching
pretty
the footy.
recent, yeah.
When I was watching the footy.
When I was watching
Weighing
the-
yourself in.
I was at Rory's. I was at,
As you do. Hey, kick off. Anyone got some scales?
I was at Rory's and I was just chucking a piss and I saw scales and I was like, I haven't weighed
Two
myself.
birds at
over
once,
this
you
day. Yeah. Because I actually.
Did you weigh yourself pre or post piss?
So actually, the reason why I did it was I was listening to the Hamish and Andy podcast a few
Yeah,
weeks
yeah,
back,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
and they tried to see. They got on the piss all day. This is from 2018. This one, because
Superior
apparently
penis
the
test.
superior penis test. And I wanted to see how much weight I could lose after I sat on a lot of beers and then pissed it out.
Mm.
So I weighed myself after drinking these beers, and then I think I actually gained 300 grams
After drinking the beers.
after drinking the beers and
Oh,
pissing
makes
them
sense.
out.
That's the
Oh,
cutting edge of science.
yeah.
But I pissed it out, and I was still. a
Did you
lot
zero
more.
the scales before and after? Or?
Yeah. Did you tear 'em?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Things got weird.
How many beers had you had?
Actually, this is fucked. I think I brought like 18 beers over to Rory's or something. A lot of different
As you
types of beers for a Thursday night footy match.
Oh, I might leave 6 at home, take 18.
It was a mixed 18, very mixed bag. I just looked in the fridge and thought, what
I'll
do I
take 'em
keep?
all.
Exactly. But because I always cop shit for bringing too many alcoholic beverages to places. But recently, I think I've just become an absolute pisshead, and I get through it way too quickly. So I was at Roz's, and he's
18
like, "Oh,"
beers is quite a few, yeah.
he's like, oh, you brought a few too many beers there, eh? Haha. I was like, yeah, I think I have. Left his place at 3:30 that morning with 1 beer left. Absolutely ridiculous. A couple of IPAs and sours in there, mixed with some lagers.
Oh,
one
mate.
stout.
Like,
Brought
if
the
that was
stout
me
up.
on Thursday night, it's Saturday night, I'd still be in bed.
For sure.
18 mixed craft beers, I'd be disabled.
I think that's what did me on Thursday.
Yeah, actually, that's breaking news.
Oh,
Clutzy
yeah.
had his fucking first ever hangover.
What? Ever?
I had my once in a blue moon hangover.
So it's
I
rare.
don't get them
They're
very
rare.
often.
He had a headache.
I had a headache
What?
because I got woken up earlier than
Sounds
what
like
I
Tuesday
should've.
to me.
Yeah.
All day.
I had a little headache, but I could still function, you know. I wasn't complaining too much about it. I just sort of like, this isn't the best. This isn't the worst. But well, you got to do
Did
what you
you
got to do.
enjoy
sometimes.
your hangover experience?
I jumped on Warzone.
Nice.
Yeah, I had a hangover, Buck.
Big
It's
news.
ridiculous that the
Big,
people in the
big
crowd
news.
are reacting like this.
Yeah. That's when you know we're fucking groundbreaking.
So you know you
Yeah.
made it, eh?
Yeah.
It's like
Seb, how does it feel
yesterday-
to finally make it and get on the podcast?
To make it, yeah, it's good, man. Bittersweet. Can't hang out with the plebs anymore, but don't know, worth it, I suppose.
Actually, do you
I'm
remember,
balling.
Seb? For people who didn't go to school with us, which is probably less than
99%.
1% of people listening,
Shout out to Max Pendle.
I gave a speech at graduation
Oh, yeah.
on the last day of year 12. No, it was at the dinner.
Yeah, it was
like,
at the graduation dinner.
like the
full
last
formal
thing, yeah. And I got up and did a speech right then. It went for like a couple of minutes. And right at the end, it was technically a toast. And I can't remember the exact words, but the end was like, Seb's like, can you please just give me a shout out in the speech? It'll mean so much to me. And I read this. It was like 2 pages. Like went through all this shit. And right at the end, I'm standing there in front of like the entire school, all the teachers, all the parents. Like, and I was like, parents, teachers, friends, graduates, and Big Bad Bas. Cheers to Ashgrove or something. And everyone just started clapping. I just slipped it in.
That
Big
was so
Bad
sick.
Bas right at the end.
I think that's when I made it. Everything since then is just me.
Oh,
Just living through years.
I was so
after you.
nervous about that. I was like, shut through it. And even like half of this speech, I'm not going to say, I'm not going to say, I'm not going to say. I was like, oh, fuck.
Sick.
What are they going to do?
Oh man, I
Brings
was like,
back- oh, sorry, no,
I
you
was
go.
like that for Roy's 21st speech. Just so nervous before he said it. Yeah.
Seb
Probably
gets
shouldn't
up.
tell that story, but
Just trying to give the opening line.
oh yeah. Good evening, everyone. We've been told to keep this PG. Fuck that.
It was downhill
Oh,
from there.
Yeah, his
so
mum kicked me when I was doing the thing. And I had to go around the next week and apologise.
That's amazing.
Yeah, because
Pretty-
my dad found the speech in my like laundry and he read it. And then he pretended that like Roy's parents saw him at the shops and were like, that was disgusting. But he just found it. And he was like, I read it. That's disgusting. You need to go apologise right now.
Yeah, because he had a lot of family and like young cousins and stuff there.
Yeah.
I tactically didn't invite any of my younger cousins to my 21st
Oh, would
because
ya?
so on my dad's side of the family, they are significantly younger than me. I think my oldest cousin on that side of the family would be like 19. So it's a 6-year age gap there. And
Oh, so when you were 21, they were
like 15 was the
good
oldest.
maths,
They
Clutzy.
were-
Yeah.
Just testing ya.
fucking maths, bruh. But yeah, like most of them were like 9, 10 years old or a lot younger, and sort of, you know, being the bigger, older cousin, look up to me as a.
I think everyone
Sort of-
does that.
Yeah,
Oh.
I wish you were my bigger older cousin. You're definitely my bigger, but
Yeah, so like going on about. I just said to Mum because she was like, "Okay, what are we gonna do about the cousins? They're not fucking coming." So, oh, how come? I was like, "Mum, think about the states you've seen me in over the last
Yeah.
3 years.
that's not
And then
even the half
imagine-
of it. Yeah,
Just I was like,
behind closed doors.
you don't know the things that I've been through. They're fucked. No one else needs to see this
Your
from the
cousins don't
family.
need to see it. At least
Nah.
of all
Yeah.
your young
Or like
cousins.
grandma and shit.
So I picked up my auntie from the airport the other day with Dad, and she's got a 17 and a 15-year-old kids, and they like every single thing we put up about Bloody Brilliant Beers on
Love that.
Instagram.
Love
and,
that.
Yeah, I love it. Big support.
Who
And
doesn't?
apparently my
Lots of
younger cousin Bridget, she came up to my auntie, and she was like, "Mum, I know a lot of these things I'm not meant to watch, but I'm going to do it anyway, and I think it's very funny. It's like, I'll try not to be like that sometimes." And I was like,
It's a perfect example of how you don't want to turn
Yeah.
out.
"That's me."
I saw it. It frightened me, and I'm doing everything in my power to avoid being like Josh. when I'm
Yeah.
older.
I was thinking about it. I was like, "Oh well, yeah, my family knows that."
I'm
the
a
nuts
piss
slap
cutting
along my
legend.
leg.
Do you reckon they knew you liked beers before this, or was this a real
Eye opener.
glass shattering moment for them?
Well, I don't know.
What?
I think.
My
Like
son's an
beers?
alcoholic.
Yeah.
Actually, we put up a status yesterday on Facebook that was I wonder if Mum knows that I'm a piss cutting legend. And Annette Clutterbuck said, "My job is done." Top comment. My job is done.
Shout out to Mum. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Like, I don't know. I've said it before. I'd love to have a segment like pisshead parents.
Yeah.
Because like I remember my mum when I first started like drinking alcohol. She was like, "Oh yeah, like," because she's a bit of a loose cannon. But she's like, "Yeah, I think your father like he wasn't as wild as you growing up." Like, and then you
Find
talk
that
to
hard to
Dad.
believe.
Version.
Yeah, you talk to Dad, and I'm like, "Mum, you don't know anything." Dad was telling stories because he was a boarder back at Marist
Oh, really?
back in the 80s.
I did not know that.
Yeah, hailing from Childers, up
Nice.
near Bundaberg. Shout out to Childers.
Shout out to children.
Shout out to
Is
Childers.
that where? Oh, we can talk about this after.
But yeah, so he was saying what they used to do, because he was only there for year 11 and 12, but
Same.
they used to, fuck yeah.
Mentally.
But what they used to do
No, I
was
was bored for year 11 and 12.
they never used to check ID on the trains. So they just get in their normal.
Why do you have to
clothes
check ID on trains?
Because they used to sell piss on trains on the train back up home. So it was a
Right.
It was a 6-hour train ride from Brisbane to Childers on the old Tilt
Oh,
trains.
right.
So what they used to do, all the boarders, because Childers is the second last stop.
Thanks, man.
And hang on.
The old Sam Barker trick. Talk too much and don't drink your beer, and
There
then
you go,
neck
it's
your beer
gone.
and wonder why you're too fucking blind.
Excuse me.
Excuse.
Yeah, so what they used to do, 6-hour train ride, they used to pool all their money together, and when the chick came around with the little cart, I imagine it like Harry Potter with the lolly cart.
Yeah.
I'll get all, thanks.
That's legitimately exactly what I was picturing.
Yep. So I'll have them all, thanks. They just used to get all the beer, lock the cabin, and just get fucking blind. And then my granddad would go pick them.
That was
The weirdest bit, Ego.
the weirdest beer pouring technique I've ever seen.
Then my granddad would go pick him up and take him down to the beach for a bit of a chill, so that my nan didn't know that him and the boys were pissed. Massive plug to Benny the Engine for doing that.
Yeah, Benny the Engine.
Benny the Engine. There's a few Benny the Engines around here.
Thanks for the beer.
Sorry, actually. Yeah, cheers, copper.
Thanks. We're talking about Clutzy's granddad, Benny the Engine.
But yeah,
I think he's throwing chat at us, but if he gets, we can't hear a word he's saying. So
Yeah.
I think he thinks we're throwing chat at him. But
Yeah, we're
we
not.
just thanked him
Yeah.
for the beer.
yeah,
No, spectacular.
rude prick.
He is a bit, but oh.
Well, that's 56 minutes, Clutzy.
What
so
is the time?
Is that 56 minutes?
Yeah, we've been talking for 56 minutes. It's about 1:05. It's
Fuck,
one
I got
past
work in
one.
50 minutes.
Yeah, it's true.
Must not be
We've got a
nice.
party to go to.
Yeah. We got some celebrity slapping to do, though.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Celebrity slap.
You're going to give Seb $20.
New segment, new vlog
Pokies
segment.
are back open. We're all about to lose our inheritance again.
Let's do it.
Big Bad Bass is about to
Celebrity
go
slap.
wild
Yeah.
on the pokes.
Yeah,
Free
fucking
money.
oath. Fucking oath. If I could, I'd invest my whole super into Where's the Gold.
YKTR.
Yeah.
Love that shit.
All the boys are on it.
Yeah, baby. All right, well, yeah, mate.
Let's go win some free money.
Fucking oath. Thanks for coming on, Cobb.
yeah,
Thanks for having me, boys. It's been a pleasure.
that's.
Never a fucking
It's been okay. It's been fun. Thanks.
I actually meant to mention that we should do a lot more look down the lens. It's pretty funny when people do that.
Yeah.
Benny did it a few times on his, and he thanked the sponsors. It was funny as.
Yeah. It really is. Fucking.
Thanks Westpac, ANZ, and carsales.com.
Oh, yeah, if you made it this far, thanks. Don't know how you did. But,
Yeah.
once again, this has been On the Piss with Clutch, Stars and Seb. Please share it with, let's go with 3 people
Your
this
parents.
week. We've been increasing
Yeah.
it from 1, 2 to 3. Yeah, share it with your parents and show
If your
them.
auntie likes a drink,
Yeah.
share it.
And if you tell me that you have an auntie that doesn't like, if you don't have an auntie that likes a drink, you're lying.
Share it with your Uncle Peter or your Uncle John as well.
I have an uncle. I have one uncle, 2
Yeah.
uncles, and one of them's named Peter.
Oh, Peter, pumpkin,
Pumpkin
eater.
eater.
Yeah,
Had a
I
wife
don't
who couldn't
even
keep
like
her.
pumpkin.
it's a story for another time.
Yeah, no one will get that.
Yeah.
And even if they did, not that funny.
No. Like this whole podcast.
That's got to be what we end on.
Fuck yeah, all right. See you later.
See ya.
Bye.
Give 'em
Thanks.
heaps.
Bye.
Bye.